Top of the day to you all. Welcome to Module 3 of PD 5202, Components of Curriculum. In the last two modules, we talked about the definitions of curriculum according to different opinions of curriculum experts. A few hours ago, we talked about the features of curriculum. We are going to talk about the components. What are the components of curriculum? The components of curriculum are as follows. The first one there is curricular policies. The term curricular policies designate the set of rules, criteria, and guidelines intended to control curriculum development and implementation. There are micro policies and there are micro policies. Macro policies such as board policies on course required in high school, and micro policies such as a set of recommendations for a curriculum unit in mathematics. Policy making is essentially the authoritative allocation of competing values. Thus, as a board makes a policy requiring 3 years of science in the high school curriculum, but does not require any study of art, obviously it is perhaps unwittingly according to a high value to science as a way of knowing than does to aesthetics. For instance, part of the educational policy in Nigeria in terms of admission into tertiary institutions in Nigeria is that 60% of admission should go for science-oriented courses, while 40% should go for arts and social science courses. The essence of this is to encourage more Nigerian children to show interest in science-oriented courses, which the policymakers think will lead or will contribute to the development of Nigeria. So such policy, we call it macro policies, and it's part and parcel of curriculum development or design. So if you want to develop a curriculum, you have to factor in the curricular policies. The second one there is programs of study. A program of study is the total set of learning experiences offered by a school for a particular group of learners, usually over a multi-year period and typically encompassing several phases of study. The program of study is often described in a policy statement that delineates which subjects are required and which subjects are elective in nature, with corresponding time allocations and credits. Here, for example, is a typical program of studies for elementary school. For instance, reading and language arts. The time allocated for that could be 8 hours in a week. Social studies, 3 hours. Mathematics, 4 hours. Art, 1 hour. Music, 1 hour. Health and physical education, 1 hour. You know that kind of a thing? So this is what we refer to as programs of study. Basic science, 2 hours. So at the college level or at the tertiary institution level, a student program of studies include all the courses he or she will take or has taken. In tertiary institution, we operate credit units courses. Like this course you are doing now, maybe it is 2-unit course or what have you. The course outline given to you here is your own program of study. I've given you the example of how it operates at the primary school and secondary school level. So program of study is equally important by a component of curriculum. The third one there, program of guidance. Guidance in the school curriculum context means the assistance the school gives to a learner for the derivation of optimal benefits from learning activities based on aspirations, abilities, interests, and other personal attributes. Such support services, according to Ogunyemi 2000, can be categorized as follows. We said guidance. Guidance has many types. But for the purpose of this course, we shall be discussing only 3 types of program of guidance that the school must ensure is part of the curriculum. The first one is vocational guidance. From the curriculum point of view, it should be noted that vocational guidance is an integral part of the teacher's professional calling. For instance, a good class teacher should be able to identify each of his or her students' interests in various school subjects and suggest possible career pathway as they advance towards the end of their secondary education. What we are saying here is that as a teacher, you are the one teaching this your student, and you should be able to serve as a parent for them while in school by monitoring their academic progress in life. You must have noticed some of them are good at science subjects, some are good at arts and social science subjects. So those who are good at science subjects, you encourage them to go for science-oriented courses. You call them and counsel them. Those that are good at the other arts and social science courses, you counsel them to go for courses that are arts and social science related, like accounting, business, business studies, and what have you, marketing. So what we are saying here is that vocational guidance should be part of the curriculum, because you as a teacher, you should be able to guide your student in the area of choosing career for their future endeavor. And this has to be done in relationship to the subject areas they are good at. The other area of program of guidance is educational guidance. Every child is in the school to become the best human he or she can become. Educational guidance aims at attaining this goal by focusing on school achievements. Where learners have difficulties, intervention programs such as remedial and or rehabilitating counseling are required. Like in vocational guidance, every subject teacher has a role to play in early detection of learning difficulties among the students they teach. When you are teaching, you should be observant to know the behavior of your student, to know their behavior while teaching, and to even monitor their performance. A student that is usually performed brilliantly well in your subject suddenly drops. As a good teacher, you should show interest in such a student by calling in to know the problem he's facing. Or while you are teaching, a student that usually pays rapt attention to whatever you are teaching them suddenly drops, suddenly loses attention. You as a good teacher, you need to call such student or students and interact with them to know what they are going through and counsel them accordingly. This is expedient at the primary and junior secondary school levels. At that level, we call them children. They are not yet adults, so they need to be monitored. Where all school subjects are compulsory, and early detection of learning difficulty might reduce the degree of frustration and disenchantment that usually characterize the behaviors of underachievers in school. I think you get that. At the primary and junior secondary school level, they need close monitoring in order to detect their early difficulties in learning. And once that is done, those observed difficulties can be easily nipped in the bud. The last type of program of guidance in curriculum is personal social guidance. Apart from vocational guidance and educational guidance, school also provides guidance services to address challenges they face in developing their total person, that is, in developing the total person of a student. You have a role to play as a teacher and as a school. Naturally, all learners are not the same emotionally and academically under normal classroom setting. Some learners are nervous or shy to make presentation in class. I think you know that. Not all learners are the same. Some of them are shy or nervous. Some of them are extroverts. When you ask them questions, whether they know it or not, they will raise up their hands. And some are introverts. Even they know that question, they will not raise up their hands. You need to dictate these different types of students as you're having them in your classroom. So early detection of these and other disorders allows for intervention before they constitute obstacles to learning. Because all these things, they are disorders. And if not early detected and nipped in the bud, it may constitute a kind of obstacles to students' active learning. With this, we've come to the end of Module 3 of the course, PD 5202. Until when we meet to discuss Module 4, do have a great day.